Well, hello folks, Fred the Metal Muncher here. I'm not got a good day for working here. It's blowing a gale after a couple of inches of rain that we've just had. It's not a pleasant day to be working outside, and I get lots of problems with wind burn from westerly winds. So I'm going to do a walk around the trailer just to show you a few things that have been done. Get this machinery back where it should be. That's better. Alright, so here we have a 6x4 box trailer belonging to my nephew. Came here in a disgusting condition, been very poorly built, was totally out of square, and I've managed to pull it back into something like reasonable shape now. This area here, that you can see, been done along that seam there, right along both sides, right up to the front there. This square here which has been replaced into the floor. And an equivalent job done on the other side there. Has all taken many hours of work. The 3 crossbars here, which were replaced, have been built a lot heavier than when the machine came out. It's not a very good production at all. We had to put a complete new set of hangers on it, new pins in the front of the springs here, cut off the old bolts there, which have been very cleverly welded. When I get it into focus, that is. There we go. The camera's very tricky because it's got a there you are, you see there's the weld for you, and they welded them up, and of course they've got rusty. Very hard to find them too. I managed to get a couple. I've got some coming up from Victoria at the present time. Anyway, the whole thing was completely out of whack. This area under here was at the wrong height. The spring here at the back, particularly here, had a 2 fingers twist in it because of the way they built the body. So we had to release the axle here on there to make the spring drop down so we could redo it. Now, rebuilding a trailer that's a messy as this one to start with was really not a very good idea, but it was useful from the point of view that I was able to refresh some of my skills, which I have as a sheet metal worker, straighten out it in a lot of areas, and completely realign the whole thing. I've managed to do most of the work to it at the moment. I'm still waiting on some material to come up so that I can finish it off. And this area here, and here, that of course is not the bottle. As I say, this has got a very peculiar setup on it. That there is all going to be redone. Those holes welded up, there'll be new wiring going in, plus LEDs in place of this thing has got at the present time. That's the U-bolt that I managed to get only one of. They're an obsolete item now because everybody makes trailers with square axles in them. I think that's pretty darn stupid. So it's given me a problem, but I did manage to find some on the net. Anyway, this side here, as you can see, has been replaced. It's 3" by 2" piece of steel, 1.8 meters long, which I've rebated. As you can see, there's a rebate here, rebate there, and I'll put a rebate on the top here, rebate on the top at that point there, to allow the thickness of the metals to come together. And that's been pulled together with clamps and then spot welded in most places, seam welded in some areas, depending where it needed to be done. The mud guards, I've been doing those at the present time. They go in there where those patches are there, those shiny bits, and they'll be redone. I'm panel beating those up at the present time. All in all, when I finish this, and I've seam sealed it, turned it over and taken all the rust out of the other side there, the unit will be a very good unit for anybody. These just need to be repacked. Just need to be repacked here. The other side there is quite tight, so it's been over tightened, and we'll take care of that too. The back tailgate is in my little shed behind me, and this one here shows a bit of corrosion down in the corner here, as you can see. That's not a real big problem there. I can weld most of that up, and I'll just leave it open at the back here. I'll just cut this section out behind here where it is showing up here in that section there. I'll just open that up along here, along there, and I'll put a new piece of steel in there just to make it neat and tidy. Tried all sorts of things to clean it off with. Finally finished up getting some crushed glass, running that through, and it does a fantastic job. It's such a fantastic job, in fact, that as soon as I'm able to, I'll purchase a unit which runs on about 90 pound. I've got two compressors that'll provide about 35 cubic meters of air, so you use a lot of air, some of these things. And they I've got a second compressor, and the one inside puts out about 16 cubic, and the other one that I've got's about 12, so just enough to do the job. But I'll be able to clean entire cars with that, and I'll earn myself some money too, so I can buy a far better unit. The next one up from that requires 135 to 145 cubic feet a minute, which means to say that you've got to have a big one, a big generator air compressor, and without that you don't get anywhere. So it's not a bad little trailer, this. Now we have a new ball joint to go on the front here, new tow hitch. That is a new tow hitch to replace the tow hitch that is here at the present time, which is that one, and that's the original fitting that was on it. So we're going to fix that up, take care of that, getting two second-hand wheels for it to replace the ones that are with it. It'll be completely washed down. It'll be rust converted right through the whole thing. Then it'll be all killed off with bicarbonate of soda, and then it'll be repainted black. It was originally blue, couldn't get the hammer tone finish that was on it to start with, not without a lot of expense. Probably been about 18, 26, about 50 hours work, I'd say. About 50 hours work have gone into this so far. By the time it's done, it'll probably be about 70 hours. So if you work that out at 60 to $80 an hour, simply not worth doing. Great exercise for anybody who's planning on restoring a car. And the simple reason is that it will hone your skills. You need to be able to get out and learn how to do the necessary work, and you'll learn it by doing this sort of job. It won't matter if you make a mistake on this. It will matter if you make a mistake on a car worth thousands of dollars, or potentially worth far more than you paid for it. I can absolutely guarantee you that any car that you do will cost you at least $15,000 to $20,000 for a complete restoration. That's a lot of money, and you certainly do not want to be making mistakes with it. Not a good idea at all. So I suggest to you that to start off with, get yourself a rusted out trailer and fix it. Get yourself off to a course where you can be taught how to MIG weld. Get yourself off to a course where you're taught how to paint, and a course where you're taught how to do metal work. And there's plenty of these courses around, plenty of expert people around the place who'll show you how to use the materials and the tools necessary, even to the point where you can completely manufacture a handmade side for a car altogether, quarter panel, whatever. And that's the skill level you need to be getting to if you're going to do cars. Very important. Anyway, that's a rough run around. I'll go and load this up on the internet and have a look at it. My videos will get better because I've just replaced this camera with another one. I'll use this camera in the car. I've got a far more conventional one which shows where you point it. Oh well, that's it for the time being, folks. Thank you for listening.